So what am I drinking here?
Check out at kosher.com.
To find out more. It's Jürgen. I'm here at Capcanes in Spain. He's a dear friend, not just from the wine industry, but we grew, I think, a deep connection. So tell me, why is Capcanes so special, and what's the secret?
You know, for me, the secret, it all starts in the vineyards. I mean, in the winemaking, we know what we do, but in the vineyard, you can really do magic things. And I would like to show you what the vineyard is part of. So we talk about the work itself, but it's all based on the soil, what we call the terroir. And over there, you have a beautiful selection of our 4 major soils in Capcanes, which is sand soil, limestone, slate, and clay. And according to the color of the soil, you have different temperature. So a pale color reflects the temperature, a dark color retains the temperature, so have much lower or much bigger day-night temperature difference. So for example, at limestone and at sand, at night it's much cooler because those soils, they don't keep the temperature, they don't keep the sunshine. At those dark slate stones, you can imagine this is a bit like floor heating. So you get all the temperature during day, it keeps the heat, and overnight it's still very hot over there.
So it keeps the vines warm?
Warm, but this is good on one side to get more intensity, but flavor-wise, it's always better to work with the limestone or with the sand soil, because here you have bigger temperature differences, which is good for the preciseness, for the beautiness of the flavors. Mm-hmm. Another very important part is, for example, when we come to clay, this soil keeps a lot of water. When it rains on clay, it keeps the water for weeks and for months. The problem is by June, July, when we move into the dry period, this soil becomes hard as cement. So from the most luscious soil becomes the most difficult soil to handle. And then the vine does something very clever. By June, July, August, it noticed that it lifts above its possibilities. Okay. And then it starts to dehydrate the berries. Yeah. So to survive, it takes the water out of the berries because the soil itself doesn't. Okay. Yeah. It's because it dried out completely.
But is that a good thing? Or?
It's good thing. The good things. I mean, there are good thing and bad things. The good thing is it gets more complexity. The acidity level goes up and the tannins goes up. Okay. So flavor-wise, it's much more meaty. It's much more juicy. Yeah. It's even a bit wild. Yeah. It's good up to a certain level.
But if not, you start losing flavor? Or?
So no, you lose the balance. Yeah, it becomes too hard, too rush. Okay. So it's always about balance. Yeah, and the third part, and this is one of the major issues, is how fertile the soil is. Yeah, and fertile means how much nutrition the soil gives to the vines. You can imagine on sand soil, there's no organic material at all. So here the vines is very low growing, very little yield. It's more at the elegant side. It's a bit boring. It's not very expressive, but this is more the simple style. When you go to limestone or to slate, those two soils, they have a lot of minerals. It's a very minerality-driven soil. And the minerals like the calcium, magnesium, iron, this gives the power, the strength to the vineyards. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But how deep does it go?
I mean, as far as we know, the vines can go down by 15, 18, 20 meters. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe they even go down further, but we never went that down.
And how old is the average vine?
I mean, here, what we have here, the floor to floor, those vineyards are planted in 1910, 1915. So they're 120 years old.
And what does it make a difference in terms of the actual wine? When a vine is like over 100 years old.
You know, first, only the best vines survived. Yeah?
So that's already a good thing.
There's already a selection, because on some square meters, on certain plots, maybe after 10, 20, 30, 40 years, the vines died and then they never got replanted. Yeah? So there's a selection of the vines, but also the yield is going down. So the older the vines, the lower the production is, but the fruit is much more concentrated. So you get all the energy, concentrated in one little berry.
Wow.
So that's the secret of those old vines.
Thank you so much, Jürgen.
No, welcome.
And I would love to go outside of the
always.
vineyards and see the rest. We have like a finish line for the episode. The more you taste, the more you know.
Okay.
But I think on this time, it's the more you travel, the more you know, and the more we travel, the more you know. Look at him.